Hello people, welcome back to the podcast. Today we have another episode of pretty much dating advice, or if you can call it advice, with James. Everyone enjoyed the last one, so I thought, you know what, if people enjoy it, we'll do it again. I'm going to stick an email address that you can send us your dating scenarios to, or your marriage scenarios, or whatever it is you want bad advice to. So that'll be in the description. Let us know and we'll do it again over the next few weeks. Before I let you go, so many people have rated the podcast on Spotify. It's helping so much, and also all of the sort of likes and subscribes I'm getting on YouTube are helping loads as well. But mainly rate on Spotify. If you haven't done that yet, I will find you and I will not threaten you because I don't want anything bad to happen to this podcast. Enjoy the show.
Did I tell you that I was gonna try get people to give me scenarios for for us to give them dating advice?
No. Have you put it up?
I put it up to my email list.
Right.
So many people unsubscribed from it.
Did they?
Yeah, loads, like the most ever. Even more than when I had done like proper 10 days of marketing for the weekly offer.
Aye, like pumping.
I like loads.
Aye.
One guy wrote to me, because the way I structured it was 200 words, smallest email I've ever wrote, just saying that if anyone wants dating advice by two people that are absolutely not qualified to give dating advice, like it's literally just going to be a piss take, because we can't give people dating advice.
No, we cannot. That's it. See, Gillian, Dale's wife, she's like, what, two single guys going on a show talking about dating advice. What the fuck are you talking about? I was like, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. You know what I mean?
That's the point.
Aye.
But, Scott wrote to me, nope. Subscribed for the workout and weight loss advice and motivation. Unsubscribing because you've gone down a weird Oprah Winfrey tangent and now you're scraping the barrel for content. That's what I woke up to this morning at 8 in the morning. I wrote back to Scott because I seen that 1981 was in his email.
Right.
I wrote back, you're 42, Scott.
Shut up. Shut up.
You're 42. Sometimes I get weird urges with stuff like that, right?
So do I, mate. I need to watch with TikTok and that, like the comments.
I don't really. So my DMs just now are a fucking joke because I've just see the last month. I'm like, I don't even want to go in there. I can't be arsed. Can't be even like.
What, on TikTok or Instagram?
Both, everything. I just can't be arsed like getting back to individual people. I'll help them, but loads of people aren't even asking me for help. They're just like, fucking just try to talk to me.
I know. I get back.
I can't be arsed.
I'm like, it's just not what you're for.
I can't be fucked. I have not in a horrible way, but I just feel like my phone fucking gives me the fear sometimes. But sometimes I get wee urges. I don't care how stoic you are, right? Because I meet a lot of people that do whatever social media, and they're like, "Oh, the comments don't bother me," and I'm like, "Why do you reply then?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's just for a laugh," and I'm like, bollocks, that fucking annoys you. It's human nature. Aye. But sometimes I just want to go, I'm going to ruin your life. And just, that's all I'm going to say to him. So you see, Scott, I wanted to say to him, I'm going to ruin your life.
See, the thing is though, like, somebody gives you a cheeky comment and you're like, who the fuck are you speaking to? You fucking dick. I'll come smash your cunt in. You go, and he's about 6'5". You're like, right, see what I said? Take it back. But I do want to smash your cunt in, but I'm not going to be able to.
People leaving comments on YouTube videos are never 6'5" mental guys.
No, that's true. Somebody commented on my TikTok 2 days ago when I done 210 for 6 on deadlifts, and it was just good beginner weight.
I find stuff like that funny though.
Aye.
That's obviously a wee guy.
Aye, no, I found that one funny. And then they all slag me about how strong my specs are. I'm like, fair dues. Like, I can get with that. But then I was like...
They are like telescopes.
Oh, no, they are. But then, like, me and Dale used to post videos.
If I put them on right now, I reckon I could see Australia.
Oh, you couldn't see fuck all, mate. You couldn't see fuck all. You'd be like, what the fuck?
Let me see them.
Very blind, mate. Fucking hell.
Mate, you are...
So can you see Australia?
You are specky.
Aye, can you see Australia?
I can't see you.
I can't see you either. That's what I'm here for. See? Right, so now you can see how specky I am.
Yeah, oh,
aye.
Mate,
so I always tell people, like, I always go, like, I'm extremely specky, and they go, so am I. I go, shut the fuck up. You're talking fucking mince. I'm like, what? So do you know about prescriptions or anything? Like,
what do you mean?
No, do you know, like, obviously what numbers mean?
Different. No.
So
my dad, the knowledge I have is my dad keeps on buying Poundland ones, and he refuses to go to the opticians.
What?
Mate, honestly, right? So he buys, he just goes in and like, I genuinely think it's Poundland, and he just tries all the different ones until he gets that pair that makes him see slightly better, right? And every single pair of them, he's got about 10. They've all got one leg. Every single one of them. He loses it because they're fucking cheap shite. So he'll lose like one leg, and he's in fucking doing work in people's houses with one-legged Poundland glasses on. I'm like, please go to the optician.
There's a fucking hobo again.
There's a hobo. Sometimes because his beard is grey and his hair's the same colour as mine, he does look a wee bit homeless.
Aye, he needs to fix up that appearance. 100%. But so minus on your prescription means you're short-sighted. Plus means you're long-sighted. So I'm long-sighted. So years ago, and I mean like 2013, on contact lenses prescriptions went up to +6. I am +7. I used to have to, when I went out and night suit to start with, I was still pretty blind because the prescription, the contact lenses didn't go there. And then they put them up to +8, and I was like, thank God. I am now +7.5 and +7.25. That's how blind I am. So people that I'm -2. I'm like, well done. Yeah, you're really blind. I'm like, put them on. They're like, oh, right. So I'm like a ball here of actual blindness.
Put these binoculars on.
Still can't see. Oh, you're fucked.
How does one become blind? Or like, how does one...
Come out the womb, mate.
Like, you couldn't see when you came out of the womb?
Aye, you come out the womb like that.
Really?
Aye, I had a lazy eye, so I was like, always going to struggle, so it was really squinty.
Has it got less squinty?
Dirty bastard.
No, because I can't see a squint.
I know, because glasses fix it.
Ah.
So glasses fix your squint.
Unreal. Right, well, we get into some of this.
Hit me.
Some, like, see, because I was scraping the barrel.
Aye, yeah.
We do, like, so I'm hoping in the future. So if you've got any, because say we done this once a month or whatever, you came on the podcast when I'm scraping for guests, which will probably happen because it was 3 weeks ago, and I'm like, James, come on.
Going back on.
Coming back on, just skip down the road,
aye,
will you? If you're looking to be part of this dating advice, we'll never say your name or anything like that. I might create a wee new email address and I'll put it in the box. It'll just be like chat shit get cancelled, or it'll be like chat shit relationship advice @gmail.com or something like that.
Aye, shit relationship advice, just so you know.
Oh, this is
if you take this relationship advice, don't like come back to us and say it failed.
This relationship advice is so you'll be single like us.
Aye. So we've got people to hang about with.
Right. Let's do this one. So there'll be scenarios, and then there's other ones that are literally like they're actually looking for advice. I'm like, oh, fuck.
No, we need to reply to the advice.
So,
I always feel like I'm pretty good at relationship advice when it's not for me.
Aye.
I'm going to go, you know what, you should take this, 100%.
Are you the type of person that goes for, or people come to for relationship advice?
Nah.
How are you good at it then? Who have you been giving it to?
No, maybe back in the day.
In your head?
Maybe back in the... No. Like, all my pals are like either in relationships. I think it. My close pals, I'm trying to think. Is anybody single? No, I think I'm the only single one. It's good, innit? That's fucking good gone.
Sorry.
No, I'm not to bother me.
Right. Feel like I'm exposing myself here.
Right.
But I watched your recent episode and it got me thinking. This is quite long, by the way. Fucking, we might skip a few bits. For fuck's sake. I had a relatively normal childhood, perfect but not good, but I have major trust issues in relationships.
Right.
I'm assuming it's because most guys have cheated on me. If you could read, Gavin, that would be great. Went into my last relationship with zero trust and actually ended up self-sabotaging because I thought I'd end up getting cheated on or left anyway. Now I'm starting to wonder if I've got childhood trauma I'm forgetting. Either that or I'm just picking the wrong guys. What's your initial thoughts on that, James?
Right, so, Gavin. This is a hard one.
You actually have took the role.
As if you're welcome. Sit down, darling. Right. So, I mean, how many relationships we need to know? We
can't fucking know, right? This is all we've got.
I know. We would need to know
This is all I've got.
How many relationships is she sabotaging?
Oh, she's sabotaged her most recent one.
Right.
And she's been cheated on quite a lot in the past.
Right.
By the sounds of it, she's been cheated on every time.
Right. Oh, man. Like, because I could give the advice and I'd get absolutely slaughtered.
Oh, do that.
I mean,
Choose option one.
You got to think, right? If you're picking people who are cheating on you consistently, then, I mean, you're picking the wrong guys, but that is a you problem. Do you know what I mean?
What's wrong with that? Yeah, that's
No,
fine.
I know, absolutely. But people be like, fuck, how's that a fucking her problem? It's the fucking guys for cheating on her. But at the same time, whoever it is out there, if you're consistently picking people that cheating you, then you're picking them for a specific purpose. Like we spoke about in the last podcast, I pick girls for a specific purpose, and then I get fucked about, and I'm like, well, it's a me problem, 100%. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. What do you think about our childhood trauma?
Everyone's got childhood trauma. Everyone. Even if you're really like wealthy, like it doesn't matter. You've got some form of childhood trauma. I don't think there's anybody who doesn't. People have got it worse than ours.
Yeah, well, I don't think we need to go down the rabbit hole of like. See, I think we all have maybe things that have affected us when we're younger, but I don't think you need to brandish all of it as like childhood trauma, if you know what I mean. Because what I would say, just because I think if your first relationship you get cheated on, I think without even talking about your childhood, unless you got over it, that's trauma in itself.
Yeah.
Especially if it was really bad.
Yeah.
And it could just be that you need to recover from your first breakup. I know the first one I went through definitely affected. Like, I don't think I was capable of getting in a healthy relationship until like now from my first one.
Aye.
And I think the reason I got into my first one and why it was so bad was because of my childhood. But I don't know, I think...
So you've went back to it was your childhood then?
Not for me though.
Aye.
But I mean for other people. Also, this is quite so...
When you're younger, you're so naive to people's behaviours.
But also, when I was younger, I was fat. So I think if you're insecure all the way up until like you're 18, that never like fully leaves you.
Oh, no,
as in, like, if you get... Like, in my case, I lost weight and got good looking.
Who said that?
Everyone.
Name names.
Everyone.
Your dad?
I was a talk around the school. You know, I remember in 5th year, everyone started Gavin.
Who the fuck's this?
Everyone.
Who the fuck's this guy? Who's is that Gavin?
But anyway, what I'm trying to say is I couldn't handle it.
I couldn't handle the compliments.
Couldn't handle all the attention, and my confidence hadn't caught up to my good lookingness.
Right.
So when I would be maybe attracting more attractive girls, I didn't think I was worthy of them.
Been there.
And I know I'm sort of taking the piss. That is what I had to speak about in therapy. Paul wanted, I never actually done this one. I think he just like told me to do it and then forgot that he'd asked me to do it. But he wanted me to write a letter to like my younger, actually like fat self, if you know what I mean. And basically explain like, that's not you anymore.
Aye, absolutely. Good.
And but I never done it.
So I know.
I forgot to do it and he forgot to ask me to do it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like sometimes he gives you stuff and he's got so much on.
Aye, no. That's like
I think I'd started doing it, but he never like asked me to
finish it.
Yeah, so I never like spoke about it to him because I've probably sometimes when you're doing therapy or whatever, when I was doing with him, he would say something and then I would say something. He would go, "What did you just say?"
Aye, and you'd be like, "Oh."
I'd be like, "Oh shit."
Aye.
I'd be like, "I never really loved my last girlfriend." I'd be like, "What?" Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Aye.
Oh yeah. Sometimes he would.
I know what you mean, no, because I was skinny. I didn't really used to go to sunbeds. I didn't really used to take care of my hair.
What? What's sunbed got to do?
No, a tan, mate. A tan changes everything. A tan changes everything. Right?
I know what you mean. I had childhood trauma, and before I hit the bed,
before I hit sunbeds, but before I started eating better, my skin cleared up, got this confidence in there. I was like, you know what? Like, when you start dating, you start going for looks because you're no used to getting that. Do you know what I mean? And then that slowly disappears into because you don't look at anybody else's qualities. You go, are they really good looking?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want because I'm no used to having that when I was younger. And then that is the bearer. For me, that was my curse, because that's the only thing I was going for.
Yeah, I think
Validate. It would validate me, because I could get that, but then now I can sit and go, that's no the be all and end all.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I've learned this year, well, like dating for myself, is to stop going for like fireworks straight away.
Yeah.
Do you know? And
yeah,
that's what I've learned, because I think I just went, if we don't hit it off like ridiculous amounts in the first date,
it doesn't matter.
No, but that's what I
Used
would
to
look
be
for
like,
that.
aye.
And if it didn't, I'd be like, oh, we've obviously nothing in common.
Mhm.
But half the time, when it is fireworks, it's because it's fucking
Trauma bonds and all.
toxic as fuck.
Aye. It's because you're looking for validation. You're looking for validation. You both find in each other.
Yeah,
And
you're both fucked.
aye, no, but it is true.
Yeah.
Like, so since the last time I was on, I'm actually going away for dating. I'm focusing on myself, focusing on my business. No dating now.
You've took a full
look.
turn back to where you started when you first came on. The first podcast was called Abstaining from Girls, and he's
Nah.
back. He is abstaining.
I'm
Get out
both-
his DMs. Leave him alone. Let the boy concentrate on his life.
Absolutely. I've honestly
Pam them away. Get them to fuck.
I mean, know that, right? But like, no, but it is like semi. Like,
So you'll accept a nude?
oh, accept the nude. Who would accept the nude? No, so this is my criteria. If you do not fit into my free time, then you're not there. You know what I mean? It's facts. Don't fit in my free time, you're not there.
What does that even mean?
So if I've got free time throughout the week, if somebody wanted to see me,
Oh, so if
It's
they
pure-
try to change your routine, you're like,
no chance. Then obviously going into this next year, it's like really I want to build a business that I didn't build in the previous year through my own mistakes. So it's really focus on me, and whoever comes in. And as you say, see fireworks. I'm making sure if there's fireworks there, like I'll be skeptical going forward.
yeah, well, so Paul actually said to me, he was like, because I went on quite a lot of dates at the start of the year, and he was like, go on second dates. He was like, go on
That's
more,
your goal.
go on more second dates, even just to see what happens.
Right, so next one, let's get into it. So hold on, we didn't even answer her. We just started speaking about rain shite. Didn't we? So for her, let's go back.
What's her advice?
What's her advice? So I think you're definitely choosing the wrong people, and that is a you problem, because you're seeking whatever it is they've got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, maybe actually go down and journal because this is half the stuff that you do. Journal everything that's happened in your relationship, see where the trends are,
Aye.
and see what you go for.
Yeah.
And try go for other sort of people, and also realise that might fucking feel weird, and you might not actually. You might go out with a lot of people that you feel like you don't really like, but you need to start breaking the trends, you know. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting fucked over. And the worst person you can become, who I actually, it's my least favourite thing. See, all guys that say all girls are psychos, or the opposite way around. I'm like, you've got something wrong.
Aye.
There's something.
I'll say that as a joke. I'll say, oh, that's a psychos, and I'll go, by the way, I'm actually joking. I know they're not.
What is the most mental thing a girl has done you in any situation?
Probably, like, I don't know. So, I didn't know a story. So, one of I think it was my first girlfriend, right? So I can't mind if I was at a rave or something. Went back to hers, and this was I think this is either the last or the second last time I've ever seen her. So I was like, we were just mental, mate. Like, I just enjoy the chaos. I enjoyed the chaos, right? So went to hers. She stayed a wee bit away. I won't say where. And so we go to bed, and I wake up in the middle of the night to go for a piss, and she wasn't there. I'm like, what the fuck? Where the fuck is she? Message her, no reply. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? How weird's that? Then she replies no long later, oh, I'm out. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you're away out? She's away out on it. Like, obviously we used to fucking get our tits. So she'd go up out of bed in the middle of the night, went out with her pals, got on it, and she said, I'll be back soon. And I was like, I'm going home. I was like, and then
You were in her house?
I was in her house. Right? So I was in her house, like fucking about an hour away from my house. So I can't even just like plop up the road and just go to my bed.
Had you been drinking as well?
No, but we weren't drinking. None of us were drinking. Right? So we'd like my pal say this day, like, mate, you mind you chose somebody who done that to you? I'm like, what the fuck was that? I don't even know what the fuck was happening. So she messaged me, said I'll be back soon. I'm like, no, I won't be here. So I went upstairs and her mom was in the kitchen and she's like, where's such and such? And I was like, she's away with her pals. And she's like, what? And I'm like, I don't know. And she went like that to me, you're too good for her. And I was like, right. Maybe I'm making a mistake here. Do you know what I mean? I was like,
as in being with her.
I was like, maybe I'm making a mistake. So I think maybe 2 weeks later I went to Holland.
Right.
And I got absolutely fucked up. And I won't tell the stories that happened in Holland, but I got fucked up. I might have got the cells for something. And I was sitting I was sitting in the cells, right?
I might have.
You did? No, I did. I was on a fucking mission to get fucked up. I was sitting in the cells and I was sober at this point. I was like, what am I going to do? I was like, I'm going to fucking dump her, man. So
well, should you had the thought finally?
Well,
locked up in Holland.
Whilst
this relationship's over.
This is fucked. So I'm fucking in the cells and I've made this decision. So obviously I'm getting questioned and blah blah blah, and then I'm sitting in there and then I'm saying to them, I've got a flight to catch on the Sunday. So I'm in the cells on the Saturday night and I get let out and they're all like having a laugh at me, all these posts. And I'm like, fucking hell, man, what a fucking dick I am. So I walk back and I finally get back to the hotel and charge my phone and she's messaged me saying, oh my God, can't believe it, you're fucking idiot. And I'm like, ha. I'm like, fuck, no messaging you again. So I never messaged her for that point. Went home 2 days later, man, she's like, everything alright? I was like, here, look, let's know you fucking idiots here. I was like, this is fucking done.
Yeah.
I was like, you fucking got up to get on in the middle of the night. And then she was like, I know. She was like, I'm sorry, like we were just fucking young and stupid. Do you know what I mean? The two is, you know what I mean? We're just getting on at all the time. What?
How old are you?
2021. Do you know what I mean? You're still young and stupid at 2021, but I got up out of bed, went and got on it with our pals. And like there was other occasions like that. Like I remember, like we went back and it was just the two of us and we got so fucked up together. And then I came back too, man. There was about 20 cunts in her bedroom. I was like, what? Who the fuck go here? I was like, it was just only two of us. I don't even know what happened. But things like that, and you're like, is this really what we're wanting? No. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. See, my first breakup, honestly, like the worst fucking thing I've ever been through. Like that went up because I had done it on the phone, but I only done it because she was fucking me about. Do you know what I mean? Like
that's what I done with her.
I was the one that was breaking up. I was the one that was coming worse off. I was just doing it for a moment's sanity because I was actually losing the fucking plot.
I was the same.
Like anxiety through the roof. Because she was basically what she was doing is she'd moved back home, so she was from like Northern Ireland, or Ireland. For people are gonna stab me. And I made a few too many Irish jokes recently. I fucking was talking about the BC crisis, and they were lower on the rates, and I was like, cheating, no famine.
Dirty.
So she basically what she was doing is I was going over there for work all the time. She was over in uni here, but she kept on not giving me dates. So when I was going over for work, so I would literally be able to book my own flights. So I was performing at all the Northern Ireland games. So I'd go over and see her like 1 or 2 days, then do the job, then come home.
Right.
But she wouldn't give me dates and times that she was free. Right. So she would just, and it would just stress me out because my agency would be like, have you booked the flights? And I'd be like, nah. And then I'd be like, when are you free? And she would be like, being vague about it. And I was like, this is too much for me. So that's why I broke up with her. That was what was mainly fucking my head, right? And then 3 days later, like she knew I was going to be in Ireland because I'd broke up with her because she never gave me dates. So she texted me saying, are you in Ireland today? And we just broke up. And I was like, you fucking, like, fuck off. And I rang her and I was like, don't talk to me. And we had like fucking typical breakup, sort of like an hour chat. And I was like, I don't hate you, but just stop talking to me.
Aye, fuck off.
And then she said, I'm not wearing any clothes. Right, and I'm try
to get you back in.
No. So I was underneath Glasgow Central, the train bit, and I'd only had like 2 pints. So I wasn't drunk or anything, but I was fucking like crying underneath that tunnel, right? And she said, "I've got no clothes on," and I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You've got no clothes on?" And she was like, "No, I'm wearing your clothes," and I was like, "Both of these are weird." Get my clothes off, don't then put other clothes on straight away.
Aye.
Don't have no clothes on.
What was she telling you that for?
I don't know. I was just, that's why my head was so fried, because that sort of stuff was happening as well, and I was like, fuck Chris.
See,
But I just remember someone must have heard me in Glasgow Central. Get your fucking name clothes on.
see, get me back on in a year and I'll tell you the stories about my last one, but like the new I can't tell them. Bit too soon. I'll end up getting fucking abuse again.
Any specific, like even just mental ones that aren't relationship stuff? Because I've definitely got some.
Aye, so I had a stalker, but I actually feel really bad telling this because when I look back on it, I go, I was a bit of a dick. Was he nice?
Really?
Aye. I didn't play her on. Do you know what I mean? It was just like see, you were saying, went in second and third and fourth dates and all that. Like, and I was like, I wasn't really feeling it.
Right.
And then like I was just like bombarded for months and months and months. Like I'd block her and then she'd message me on something else and then message me on something else, and I was like, right, like you're a bit crazy. And I'm like, but I was like, have I made this girl crazy, or is she actually?
Did you sleep with her?
Yes.
When you weren't interested at all?
Yes. So I think that like if you look back, mate, man, if I was to tell psycho stories, I have done. Woo! I can probably recall psycho
You
stories.
scare me, by the way, especially when you make the loud noises. And that.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I can imagine you're actually fucked. Because I'm not nuts.
Nah.
My problems were getting over my fat self and how good looking I was becoming.
Right.
I'm joking when I say that.
Mine's is no that. Mine's I've got a wee bit of temper.
Right.
I've got a temper. Do you know what I mean?
That scares me,
Does that scare
with the
you?
way you looked at me.
But see, the thing is, like, there's good things and bad things that come with like having a lot of energy. Temper's one. Do you know what I mean? People piss me off quite easy.
What would piss you off?
So, timing. See, like you were saying, like, if you asked her dates and she wouldn't tell you, that would severely piss me off.
It's just not sound though. That's
not nice.
And at the time, I was blaming myself for it. That was all the stuff I had to go over.
That's what
I'd
was
be
thinking.
like, oh, I've put her off or whatever, and I was like, no, but actually, she just see, because she never said anything harsh to me, I would be like, oh, she's not doing anything wrong, but she is. She clearly is.
Aye.
She's being a cunt.
Aye. So, like, if I look back at no hard something before, I won't go into it too much, but I was asking my dad and that, because my dad and that always go against me. They go, you're a dick. And I'll go, cool, and I'll learn for it. And I was like, Dad, this is happening like that. That's not right. I'm like, thank fuck you're telling me that. But even then, like, it's still, I let it spiral. Boundaries were, I didn't set my own boundaries, and then by the time you know it, man, I blow. And when I blow, I blow. I'll be honest, I blow.
I can imagine.
Aye.
See, after my second breakup, which was one that I just had, that was the one I told you about. So I might even tell that story. Because it might actually be interesting for other people. But when I told my dad I'd broke up with her, he went, good son, you dodged a fucking humongous bullet there, and then he just found out what gifts were. So he sent me like a gorilla going like that. And I was out at the time, he just sent me this gorilla going like that.
Did your dad know her well?
Nah, you'd have never met her.
I don't know.
I was with her in Australia.
Right.
So I came back, and we were only together for a month or something when we came back, so you'd have never met her. He met my first one, fucking hilarious when he met my first one, to be fair. I told him that day that she was coming over, and she was like picking me up to go to where she lived. So I knew she was coming. I told my dad she was coming, and as she pulled up, my dad had started stretching for his run.
Nice.
But with lycra pants on, and just I've never seen him do this ever, and I haven't seen him do it since.
Right.
He had lycra pants on.
Right.
He was in the living room doing hamstring stretches on the ground.
Lovely.
With his arse up in the air.
Lovely.
And I was just like, this is my dad.
This is my father.
He's never done this before. He's only done this the first time I'm ever introducing him to one of my girlfriends. And by the way, that's why he's been really awkward, because he is anxious.
He's never met
He's
a girlfriend of mine.
No, don't worry. Out of any of this situation, the person most stressed about meeting one of the parents is my dad.
Is he?
Well, why the fuck else would he be fucking dead? Like, he's obviously just had a moment of madness.
I
and just,
don't know what to do. I don't have a fucking clue.
I'll stick on these fucking gimp suit like pants,
Aye.
and I'll just put my arse in there.
He's probably like, right, this is the first one Gavin's brought. I don't want to fuck this up for Gavin. Right. I don't know.
That's what he's done. Where was I going with that though? Or was I going to tell the story about...
You're going to tell the story.
Alright, so I don't think... Because I've blocked her ever since we broke up, but we do have mutual mates.
Right.
So loads of people, like, no one will listen to it, but people won't know why we broke up. I never really... That one, I actually dealt with it so well. Like, all I done was block her on everything.
And
I
then
never
deal
even
with your
went,
shit.
never went and fucking bitched about her. Like, we had loads of really close mutual mates. I didn't tell anyone. I told, like, maybe 2 or 3 people that were close to me what happened. And then I didn't go bitching about her, and I just couldn't be... I actually just wanted it done and, like, away.
Aye.
That's how I knew I was fine.
Aye.
But she... So I knew this is what Paul was like every time I'd say something. He'd be like,
knew.
Why'd you do it then? So I knew at the start, like, like the fucking second weekend I stayed with her, I was gonna, and like COVID had hit, so we started dating as soon as COVID hit, but we worked together. And so the second weekend I stayed with her, I was meant to go see some of my mates as well. And she was like, I thought we were going to spend the full weekend together. So I told her that, say it was a Friday night. We'd went home from work because we worked together and it was a Friday night. She'd be like, I thought we were going to stay together. And I'd be like, well, you've assumed that. It's the second weekend. We've been, like, we're not even going out where this is very early stages. Like, we've just fucking started, like, staying at each other's houses or whatever. And I was like, I'm going to my mates. And she was like, well, I think that's inconsiderate that you've not told me that. And I'm like, what? And she done it the next weekend as well, and I was like, okay, this is a problem, and it would be a fucking huge problem.
This is how my previous one made me
feel. It'd be a huge problem anytime I was going out and she wasn't going to be there.
Aye.
Like, she couldn't handle it at all. And I wasn't, and I wasn't out chanting. I was all with boys. I was out with. I wasn't out or like I had one other mate that was a girl, but she was part of that group as well. So it would never be like boys that were out with, or girls that were out with. She just couldn't handle the fact I was out and she would not be there or in the house. It was almost as if she was jealous of anyone being with me.
Absolutely.
Even as a friend.
Yeah.
But so stuff like that would happen, and then every time not every time, I'll give her her due. Every second time she was drunk, she would just do something to try wind me up or like piss me off or do anything. So like gradually just things got more and more extreme. There was one time I was going out for a bottomless brunch, and she honestly, for about 5 hours the night before, she was just she couldn't handle me going out, and I had to like try and calm her down or whatever. And see, at the time I'm like, oh, this is normal, this is just it just wasn't. And then I went to that bottomless brunch. Within 10 minutes of being there, she messaged me saying, can we join you after? And that was the only time I was ever out without her. So I must have looked like that guy that can't be without his bird. But it wasn't me. It wasn't me. And I wasn't also trying to push her. I also was like, you can come if you want. I wasn't trying to like push her away and be like, oh no, I need boy time or whatever. But I was more just like, this is
just me time.
This is a bit fried that you can't handle me going out. Anyway, so she would always be giving me shit, saying that I don't give her enough attention. I basically felt like I couldn't do anything right the full time. I just, if it would go right for like 4 days, genuinely like we'd spend.
That was amazing.
Yeah, no, and I'd be like, this is going well, and then it would get to like the Friday, and she'd just be like, I'm sick of you. You've not given me enough attention, and all that, and I'd be like, I'm gonna lose the fucking plot.
Was this when you weren't seeing her?
Oh, like anything. It could be anything. I don't know. It was as if she just wanted to fuck it all up all the time. If you know what I mean.
I feel you.
It was as if she couldn't handle it going well.
Aye,
do you know what I mean? That's what it felt like.
Aye.
But then, so she'd be always digging at me for not giving her enough attention. I don't know why I'm going into this so much. This is probably far too much, right? But she'd be always fucking going at me for shit. And I would never believe her. I was actually quite good. I was like, I feel like I'm
right.
Not fucking being a cunt or anything like that. But then when she was on holiday, she was really going at me, and she actually made me feel horrendous. Like, she actually made me feel as if I'm a bad person, or that what I was doing was wrong, or I was giving her off signals that I wasn't interested or whatever. She was like, you don't hold my hand as much and stuff anymore and shit, right? So that was the first time I was ever like, am I actually making her like that?
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? That's what finally she broke me down. I was like, maybe I am. And I was like, you gotta do.
There's nothing worse than when they make you feel like that.
I do like you, and I was like fucking saying, I'm sorry if you feel like that.
Aye.
Whatever. Let's see how we go on over the next 2 weeks or whatever. And then we had a conversation about it. It seemed to go fine. Then the next night she went out and she texted me saying something. I honestly can't remember what it was, but it was something like, I've done something really bad. I hope you know I still really like you, but I've really fucked up. And that I was sent at 3 a.m, just screams, I've cheated on you.
Aye.
That's all it looked like.
Aye.
Was I've cheated on you. And I woke up right in the middle of the night, read it. Obviously, you're a bit hurt by it and all that, but do you know my first thought was relief? Because it was actually like, that's done for me.
Aye.
But my first thought before, like, being hurt or emotional about it was like, fuck this. And I also thank fuck, because it'd been every month it would get worse. Like, stuff would get more extreme. So she was already doing stuff like that, and I don't want to go into all the details, but it was just getting worse and worse and more extreme and more. As she would see that stuff, because it honestly wouldn't bother me. She would do stuff like that, and I would just be like, not phased. We'd come home, right? We'd be out with everyone, all our mates, and she would sleep on the floor. And say that whilst we were out with all our mutual mates, that I hadn't gave her enough attention.
Oh my God.
And I was like, what? Because I spoke to other people, or other friends on a night out, and she would, and see, as she slept on the floor, I would laugh at her. I'd be like, not like proper, like taking the piss out of her. I'd be like, fuck this.
Aye.
So it was just getting worse and worse. But then we had a massive argument, and that's where I did lose the plot. I started sending her
really bad things.
Nah, I'm not. I did. I used the word.
Well, good on you, mate. You're a better man than me.
No, but no, I'm not, because I was sending her, like, she was on holiday, so I was sending her links to, like, the nearest mental health institution.
Right.
So it's not great, but
mine's a loss.
I can imagine, but I'm more a wind up in those situations. Do you know what I mean? I would just be like, nah.
Aye.
Where was I going with that? Can't remember. Well, that's just the.
That's it.
Well, that's the
so
story.
you've not said that in a podcast?
Nah, because we know too many of the same
people.
But I don't think it's been 3 years. I've blocked her.
You didn't say that in a
then.
bad way, mate.
I've blocked her since and never unblocked her. Never really had any contact with her since. I honestly still don't wish it really bad.
No, that's the thing. Like, I don't wish anything bad on.
I know I've said all of that and I've made it look bad. And also, by the way, I don't think I was perfect. The first argument we ever had was fully me. Aye. I was out with her and our 2 English mates, and they kept on comparing me to them being proper English and from very southern England, and I got and calling me British all night, and I got really wound up about it, and I had started an argument.
No, but
that was the only one I can remember that was me, but fully me. I had 10 pints and I was like, call me British one more time, I'm gonna lose the plot.
Fuck him. See, the thing is, not like it's to take away, like, as long as you say you're not perfect and you made, but there always is somebody who's breaking somebody down in a relationship, I would say. Do you know what I mean? There's always somebody breaking the other person down.
But I felt fine, as in, the reason the bad thing was, see if because I never told her I love her, and I didn't feel like I was in love with her.
Aye.
No, but she never said that to me. It wasn't
right, did you know you never said it to each other?
It was only 6 months. I know you probably get to that point in a 6 months relationship or whatever, but I just never felt that way. And sometimes, see, when it went well, I'd be actually like feeling like I liked her more, and then she would do a load of shit. But it was none of it was ever hurting me. Like, see her lying on the floor and all that, it wasn't hurting me. No. I was just kind of like, this is. And every week I would have thoughts like, I'm gonna have to end this.
Aye.
And Paul actually said to me, why didn't you do it then? And I was like, because we both moved to Sydney at the same time, and we had all the friends we made
together.
Yeah. So she sat next to me in work. We had all the same mates. If I broke up with her, life would have been fucking hell.
Aye.
I was like, I'd rather
Should have
take
made it
the
hell.
yeah. Oh no, even just people would have chose sides.
Aye, aye.
That's what I would have got more
Aye.
on my side.
Aye.
But
Dink.
I definitely. So I was just I shouldn't have got in it as well. But I learned so much from that.
Aye.
I can
so much
see
from my
stuff like
previous
that.
one,
See if
yeah.
someone said, see if someone even like if I was in the early stages of dating, someone's like, I feel like you're not texting me enough or whatever. I'd be like,
Aye, no, bye.
goodbye then.
That is actually.
Goodbye.
Aye.
Or like, oh, you're not giving me enough attention. Goodbye.
So
See you later.
Mate, see my last relationship, I made the biggest mistakes, and I look back at them and go, fuck, I'll never ever make them again. Way MD, and I know that for a fact. And like, if since you went in yours, I'm gonna mind fuck it.
Gosh.
Right, come on. So my previous girlfriend, she goes up to the gym I'm in. I've spoke to her since, and we actually got on well, and she gets on well with my parents, and it's like
This one just there.
no, the
Right, I
my
was
previous
like-
one. But when I was with her, and I'll admit it, wasn't fully invested. Like, we moved in with each other. Like, I was like, we probably made a mistake. We moved in with each other during lockdown.
Too early.
Not even too early, mate. It was just like, it wasn't, never got to work between us. But good things in life came from us being together. And so the mum stuff that we spoke about past, that came to fruition, and we both didn't have good relationships with our mums, and we kind of chucked them. And that was probably the best thing we done together. But then it wasn't, we just weren't going on in a relationship sense. And then I'll be honest, I wasn't nice to her. No nice. It wasn't like arguing or anything. But obviously she stayed in my flat, and I was just kind of like, we just kind of lived like she wasn't there and I wasn't there.
Right.
And then I wasn't treating her well, be honest, 100%. It wasn't like shouting at her, wasn't calling her anything, just wasn't treating her like she was there. And that's no nice, because she only had me. And I'll always remember this. Do you know what I mean? And then when we split up, again, blocked her and everything, and I went, I never ever want to be that person with MD ever again. And I need to deal with the stuff with my mom.
Yeah.
So I stayed single for ages. Dated a couple of people, but I wasn't really that bothered. And then
I didn't date for 6 months after that one.
I didn't date for me. I was for 4 or 5, and even then it was like a date, and that was it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
I like purposely abstained, like you were talking
you
about
need
on
to.
that podcast. I was like,
you need to.
I was like, I need to figure out why I stayed in that, or
That's-
why I got in it in the first place.
So for me, it was like, I need to figure out all this other stuff with like my mom and that. How do I fucking get through that and be in a relationship with somebody and actually like them? So when I met my last ex there, I was like, we got on really well, but there was signs to me, like you say, that I was like, we don't get on as well as I think. But I blanked them, and I don't know. And at the time, I didn't know why, but now I know why. But I was like, I blanked them, and then maybe about 2.5 months in, we had our first argument. And I know what it's because I'll no go into it, right? But I was a very, very strong person when I met her, like mentally. And I knew if I ever split, see when my ex previously, when she moved out and I blocked her, the best thing I ever done, because I got on with mine shite, and she got on with her own shite, and she's got on with somebody new, and she's happy, and that's the best thing that I could ever see. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And
we got on now, and I'm like, fucking thank God, because we went through, and she gained a lot and I gained a lot, and she's like, we're in the right path, and it genuinely makes me super happy. But I was a very strong mentally person by this point, because this is maybe about a year and 3 months after, and I've just worked on myself for this a year and 3 months, which a year and 3 months isn't too long, but if you're proper working on yourself, you can make a lot of progress.
oh, loads.
And I was strong, I was working hard, I was making fucking moves, and something happened, and I was like, blocked her on everything. I was like, we're done. Do you know what I mean? And I forgot to block her on Facebook, because I didn't really use Facebook. And she messaged me, and I replied.
Oh, that's where you went wrong. I blocked everything. I blocked every single route I thought she could take. I blocked
I didn't.
I blocked some of our best mates, and I blocked who she was on holiday with.
Right?
The only people I left were her brother and sister, and the reason I left them is because I'd met them and they really liked me, and they were like 12 and 14, so I felt like if I blocked them I'd be an arsehole, but they're the only two I left.
No, I think you need to block everything and everything. There's no avenues.
Because she messaged one of my mates,
Aye.
and I told them, don't ignore her.
Aye. So I made that mistake, and the fact is she messaged me like 30 minutes after I'd done all that. So I was still in the mindset of like 50-50. And I went for a strong person to fucking the weakest minded person you could think of. And it slowly broke me down. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I shouldn't have done this. And then I turned into a fucking psycho. Do you know what I mean? But it's genuinely because I was like, because I went for this strong-minded person to this weak-minded person.
Yeah.
Started to believe everything else. And that, like, genuinely, I was like, why? I'll always remember, I go, why did I ever reply to that message? Because we were never going to work for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I blocked her.
I
for a
know
reason.
those are. I've had moments like that, and those are the hardest ones, because so see when I broke up with that last one, so that argument from her saying that because she was basically saying that she never cheated on me, but I came at it from, if you're capable of doing that, like making that up.
Why?
And also, by the way, I was like, maybe she's been ploughed off some 6-foot cunt from Leeds. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
Also, don't know, using the word ploughed is a bit disgusting. Right, I'm thinking about it.
Smashed.
But like, I was like, both of those scenarios, or if anything, making up's worse. I actually think it's
Aye.
worse. I actually think that's worse, because
Aye.
all you're doing is trying to be evil.
Aye.
Like, and so the argument lasted like all. So I rang her and she was like, I think you're overreacting, and I was like, nah.
That's what I would do. No, I'm a fuck.
I was like, nah, see you later. I was literally just like, I can do well. I said, I can do well better than you. See you later.
Ooh.
And I didn't mean it looking wise. I just mean like,
Aye, as a
I'm
person.
above this.
Aye.
Like well above this. See you later.
I remember I said good riddance.
Good night.
Good riddance.
But I hadn't blocked her yet, and she was like, can you just give me a chance or whatever? And I was like, she was still on holiday. And I was like, don't message me at all if you message me when you're on holiday, because these arguments before had all been when she was drunk on holiday.
Aye.
And I was like, if you message me on holiday, I'm just going to block you straight away. And I left her on WhatsApp, and then she sent me a big message trying to break up with me. And I
got it.
I just blocked her.
Aye.
I didn't even reply to it. I was
Aye,
like,
good.
I'm done with you. But for that one for me was, people were like, do you think she cheated on you? And I'm like, honestly, don't care. I honestly think cheating on me would have been better.
Aye.
Not cheating. I don't like people. I think if someone's cheated on someone and they never know and they go about, I don't really believe that that's a better scenario. I think you should know.
Aye.
But I think what she done's actually worse than cheating on me.
Aye, it's strange.
It's manipulative,
Oh, very
like
manipulative.
extreme.
Aye.
So, what do you think about this? She's not really looking. Well, I don't know if he's looking for dating advice. He's just kind of told me what he's done. in his life.
That is.
I've got 3 kids to 3 different women all over the UK, and in a moment, and in a moment of madness, I left for a 24-year-old Australian waitress when I was 40, only to discover that Australian women are absolute dicks. That's all he said.
So it sounds like you're a fanny, mate. Anna,
Yeah,
that
would be my
go-to.
And slightly predatory. Have you spoke to like a 21-year-old girl,
Who, me?
like, or even just had a conversation? I don't know how people can date that low. That
Aye, when
much
you have a
younger.
conversation, you're like, right, you are actually young.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
but imagine being 40, 24. Like even 20. I think 23 for me is the very. And I wouldn't date that young. But
I
like,
seen a video the other day and it was like a woman talking. She's like, if a younger girl finds a very older guy
are you
attractive.
talking about the one that's been everywhere? on
Aye,
TikTok? Aye.
She was like, she's got childhood trauma. I was like, that's actually probably right.
And the old man's got childhood trauma.
Aye,
as well,
aye,
and
but that's how
bonded.
they. That's how they.
bonded,
Aye,
yeah.
aye.
What do you think
I
about
don't
that?
know. I would,
Explain that. What was it she was saying? She was basically saying that a man is going for a younger woman because
it's a trophy.
trophy, and also because she hasn't found out who she is yet, or is able to set boundaries. So it's almost more controlling.
I do think a 24-year-old woman would be able to, like, if she's grew up properly, would be able to have set boundaries and all that.
Yeah, 24 maybe, but it's
Aye.
just 40, 24 still weird. But I think 21, 22. If you've not been in a relationship yet and you've not got experience, you don't know how to manage any.
Your first relationship, you're like, what the fuck am
you
I
are
doing?
you are open to all sorts.
Aye.
So I think that's what she was saying with
Aye, she
when
was.
it's like 20, 21.
Aye.
And then also the young girl is looking for like a father figure probably,
Aye, true.
and like an older man.
Daddy.
But also, imagine having 3 different women
I know, man.
kids to all over the UK.
I couldn't even think of having two.
The logistics.
I couldn't even think of
The
having.
logistics alone.
I know, no. Like, how are you controlling that?
Imagine the amount of money you have to.
Mate, do you make a lot of money?
Are
Because if you don't, you're fucked.
Fuck me. How do you?
Why
do
does he
it?
tell you that?
I don't know. I've not mentioned his name. It's fine.
No, I know.
Also, how do you feel about all Australian women are dicks?
Aye, that's a you problem, mate. That's a you. That's not the case. What do you think about that? You know, I don't know any Australian woman. What's the culture like here?
The 2 years I was in Australia, I definitely wasn't a saint, but I never got with Australians.
Did you know?
Not really.
Just your in.
Some people from Coatbridge.
Did you? Fucking hell.
Scottish, English, and Irish.
That's it. You stuck to them.
A few Finnish slipped in there.
Nice.
Don't want to get into that.
No.
But yeah, I never went for Australian women. Australians think that they're as harsh as us, and that they've got the same sort of humour as us.
No, I don't.
But they don't. I didn't really like Aussies the first time I lived there, and then the second time there, because most of my mates that stayed there were the Aussies that were left, because obviously everyone else had went home with visas and stuff. So I do actually love Aussies. They just take longer to break down than us.
Fair dues.
As in, like, you don't get as close to them straight away, or they don't get your humour straight away.
Aye, because we're very friendly.
And we rip into people straight away. See, they think they do that, and then you do it to them, and like, oh my god, that was hurtful. Like, that's the way we speak. Like, you just think you're like that, and you're not, and you get the mad woke ones as well, and you're like, oh my god, shut up.
See, I think that's like, I don't know if it's your problem as well, but I've got quite dark humour.
Oh, I've got the darkest
So
humours.
it's very hard to find somebody who you fully connect with, because you're like, if you can't have your dark humour around about them, then it's not going to work.
So, like, I didn't get along with. I didn't really go for Aussie women because I found it hard to.
I connect with the Q humour.
I'm trying like fucking straight away, and they're just like, oh my god, this guy is.
He's a fucking creep.
This guy's a bit intense.
He's a fucking crackpot.
I just wanted to know.
Is there any more?
Well, ones that just aren't like, it starts off as a good story, but there's no punchline, there's no ending. Sarah, I'll just say her name's Sarah, right? She says, started dating a footballer who had an injured hamstring all the time, an injured hamstring, and I was like, that's a great hook. I'm so interested. What happens? And then she just says the whole date he had to stop. Date goes well, and then we're having sex, and every 30 seconds he has to stretch, and then which is funny, and I was enjoying it, but nothing else happens. She said she dated him again, they had sex again, he had a torn hip flexor, but I was like, oh come on, you set me up so well. Tell me more funny stuff about it. But it's not a great story, mate.
No, that's a terrible story.
I'm already bored.
Aye, what?
So get some better stories in, and we'll definitely do this again.
I'll tell you one daft story. So I took my friend's sister out. Right? It was a girl, like one of my lassie pal's sister.
Your friend's sister?
Yeah. She was
I would assume that's a girl.
No, my friend was a girl as well.
Oh, right.
So isn't it like one of my guy pal's sister? That would have been probably weird.
I took out our man sister.
So I was like, your sister's hot. Right. So I was like, I'll take her out. So I took her out, man. Like, went to pay, man, at the window. I was like, oh no, got my wallet. So she had to pay for it. And then she's just never seen me ever again.
How much?
She just patched me. It was only like 15 quid, right? It was only there.
McDonald's, are you gonna
I
say?
went to McDonald's.
Oh my god.
Went to McDonald's.
Good god.
Went to McDonald's.
Fucking hell. I'm got what? McChicken sandwich? You drive?
Just got a milk.
Drive
Just got a milkshake, mate. How bad's this?
How old were you?
Like 20.
Oh my god.
Aye.
Still bad.
Aye. So I deserved to be fully single at that point.
100%.
So took a girl out, went to McDonald's, which is bad enough. Forgot my wallet, got her to pay, and then she never seen me. She never messaged me back ever again. And I was like, you know what, fair play.
Do you remember your first ever date?
Oh, kinda. Aye.
I remember mine.
Aye.
I went to the cinema.
I think I went to the
I
cinema.
was about 16 or 17.
I was 17.
I went to see Ted. And I tried to speak halfway through, and the woman in front of me told me to shut the
Fuck up.
And I didn't speak to her the full time. Walked her home.
How?
Barely spoke again. Most awkward experience of my full entire life. And then I asked her to go on another day, and she said, "I'm going to uni."
You're right. So that's
you
just...
were going to uni before we went to.
See, if there's anybody younger, if there's anybody out there, do not go to the cinema on your first date.
Don't go to cinema unless you are married.
Aye, it's fucking shite. It's
Also,
fucking shite.
I've not been in the cinema in 5 years.
I'll probably same.
And the last time I went, I'm never doing this again. I can watch this in the house, in the comfort of my own house, without these minging bastards eating popcorn and we cunts throwing it.
You can make your own food too, mate. Have a banging scran. Do you know what I mean?
It's the worst thing ever. It's the worst thing to do on a date as well.
I went to my first date cinema as well, and I was waiting. I was like, is she going to show up? Don't know. She came. I was like, good, thank God. And then we went to cinema. I was like, this is awkward as fuck. And then we left, and then we got our pals. And I was like, bit weird.
You what?
We got our pals. So well, this was in East Coast Bride, right? So I never went to East Coast Bride back then. So
I knew a wee bit. I know East Coast Bride a wee bit.
a wee bit, right? So I'm like, right.
The ice skating.
Aye,
Did
so
you go to the Odeon?
went to the Odeon. Can't remember what we've seen. And I was like, that was shite. I don't even know anything about this. I said, so she like, you want to go and get on it? And I was like, aye, fuck it. So, see, at this point, mate, I was a liar. I did drink. I didn't really drink. But I'm like, aye,
What
cool.
age were you?
I'm cool. 17. I only started drinking when I went to Teena Park when I was 17.
Right.
So this is when I like just turned 17.
Right.
So obviously Teena Park was like that summer. So I was like, cool, man. I'm like, I'm cool as fuck. So we got our pals, and then we went to her house, and I met her ma. And I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So she's like, oh, pleased to meet you. And I'm like, aye, pleased to meet you. I'm this wee guy who's never been on a date in his life, who's now in East Coast Bride in the parents' house with the pals. And then we went, right, we're going to drop his off. Drop us off at this house party with hundreds of cunts that I don't know. And I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Everybody's taking gear and all that. And I'm like, what the fuck
Really?
is this?
Were they all your age?
Aye. Like 16, 17 on this one gaff in the middle of the scheme in East Coast Bride, mate, going tonto. And I'm like, this isn't for me. I'm like, I have fucked this up. I'm like, this is going to put me off dates for life. So, we went back to her pals, and there was only like 5 days, and they're like, obviously having a chat. And I'm like, I have fucking sat myself in the deep end here. You know what I mean? I fucked this up.
100%.
And then I got a kiss. I'm like, yes! Woohoo! We got it!
What, on the gear?
No,
Were you taking gear
no,
and all?
I did take gear. I didn't touch the drug then. I hadn't really drank it either by then. And then went home, got a taxi home. And I was like, that was fucking terrible. I was like, I feel so fucking awkward.
That's better than mine though.
I know that, but I
would rather
felt
be
so weird.
On the gear than watching Ted.
Aye, fuck Ted.
Not being able to speak. I remember the anxiety being crippling.
Mate, it's
I
like,
remember just being so nervous.
You cuddle him?
No, I didn't.
You cuddle him?
Nah.
Nah. I ain't got that. I ain't got that.
Did you?
Aye, to be sneaky.
What?
Then you're like, pull it back in.
But it's not even like, doesn't even feel good that.
No, because you don't know who they are. You're fucking cuddling a random person.
I remember that being the thing that like,
in a movie.
the first girl I like had round my house or whatever. I'm like, I need to get my arm around them. I need to get them in a headlock soon. Otherwise, the chance is going to be gone.
See
They're going to leave, and I've not even put my arm around them. I remember thinking, that was the move. When did I make it? What point did I get this arm round this bitch?
I said it on the other podcast, me and Dale. I said, all they bitches. I'm like, whoa, cut that.
Get out.
I don't call them that.
Didn't
Women only. But you're overthinking it. You're like, right, when did I first touch them? Not even kiss them. Did I touch them? Did I put my arm around them? Did I touch a leg? Did I cuddle them? What did I do? Do you know what I mean? Do you remember thinking that?
And then even I remember like, how do you?
I still think that in first dates, to be honest.
I used to when you were a virgin. I used to be like, when do you go to second base? And what do you do when you're in it? Did I just hit the ball? What the fuck? I do not remember that. I remember.
Mate, I remember it so well.
Every party you went to, this is going to get a bit vulgar, but everyone was like, getting stuff inside them and having mouths round them. Do you know what I mean? And all the toilets, you would go to a party,
Aye.
and you'd be like, "Oh, where's such and such?" And they're like, "Oh, they're getting."
Aye, they're getting done in.
Aye, but never sex.
Aye,
It's just like having the wee
aye, back in the day. Aye.
playing around. You
That's-
know, try
that's
not
what-
use the
That
words
house was full of that.
because some of the words are but you would just you would go in our living room. You'd be like, "Oh, I'll leave there."
Finger blasted, that's what you're trying to say.
Ah, that's how. Do you remember the first time you done?
Come on, fuck.
No, but I remember me.
Do you? I don't think I can, mate. I don't think I can.
Right, we'll end on this because I don't want to go down this route.
Aye.
But first time I done it, I was whatever 16, and we had to stop because it was in a bathroom, and I flushed the toilet with my elbow whilst I was doing it, and from there I couldn't stop laughing. Because I never knew I'd done it, and then the fucking flushed up, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? I was like, is that you? Are you coming?
Did you say that?
Oh, no.
I thought, no. See, if you said that, you'd be like, right, just, well, you can never go back there. You can never go back there. Did you go back there? Did you go back there with her?
Aye.
Did you? Good.
You're 16 or whatever. It's fine. Wow, we'll end on that, because I don't want to talk about my vulgar experience.
Nah.
All my experiences at that age were, like, you know,
I
just...
think everybody's were. There's no one having fucking enjoying herself back. No as much back
Nah,
then.
you're just fucking trying to not do it wrong, innit? Whilst doing it
Overthinking it.
incredibly wrong. Aye, and just being like, did I take my pants off? What's going on?
Did I keep my socks on?
Where does this go?
Socks on or socks off?
I would have kept my socks on quite a lot.
I love the socks on.
I just forget to take them off.
No, I love one feet. No.
Ah.
No, but do you know, 1 feet, mate. Yeah, I hate cold feet, mate.
I do.
See, when your feet start, oh.
I don't mind some socks on.
Aye,
You know
socks
what
on.
I mean? Right, we'll end there.
Aye.
If you want any more, it's because we were working with the scraps, as Scott said in the email.
Aye.
I was working,
Fuck Scott.
but we'll get some better ones.
Aye.
I want to do this again, but email in the description below. We'll give you some more dating advice.
Aye.
And we'll maybe try and talk less about our. Well, we'll just go off in tangents. Okay.
See, the thing is, we'll say everything we need to say. I can say my stories very soon, just need to give you a bit of time.
Okay. Cool.
In
Right.
case I get stabbed.
Catch you in a bit.
Have a nice one.